Hello friends, we are going to discuss today the employee or worker's responsibility. Employee or worker responsibility we are going to discuss as per the article 19 of convention ILO convention C155, which says that worker in the course of performing their work to cooperate in the fulfillment by their employer of the obligation placed upon him. Here he wants to say that whatever the work responsibility, obligations, whatever the task given to the worker by the employer, the worker has to cooperate in fulfillment. The worker has to cooperate in the 100% dedication he has to apply to fulfill the whatever the work given to the worker. That is the basic responsibility of each and every worker in the organization. The second, worker to cooperate with employer in the field of occupational safety and health. Whatever the employer is doing, his employer or his owner is doing everything related to health and safety, the worker has to cooperate with that. If the employer wants to provide the PPE, so they have to wear the PPE. Yes, if he wants to install some LEV, local exhaust ventilation system, or wants to establish some guard on the machines, the worker has to cooperate because it is for the related to workers' safety and health. Again, we discuss the more responsibility as per the article R 164, article 16. This is also given by the ILO. As per this, every worker has to take reasonable care for their own safety and that of other persons who may be affected by their acts or omission at work. Here they are saying that every worker has to take care of their themselves. First, they have to take care their own safety and that of other person. Other person means there may be some nearby people also may be there. Suppose one grinding man is doing the grinding and the grinding sparks are falling on the other people. So there is chances of other people health may be affected. So he has to take care all the things. The grinding spark should not fall on any other worker. Suppose not directly falling on the worker, it is falling in the area wherever any flammable material is available. So due to that, fire may take place, and due to that fire, uh, it may create a damage it may, to the that organization or to site. So he has to take care. So every worker has to take care, reasonable take care for their own safety and the other person who may be affected by their acts, by their activities, by their actions, by their any work they are doing or omission at work. Omission means there is some even then intentionally they are not doing because they don't know how to do the right way to use the tools. They are using the machine with a very high speed. Due to using the machine at very high speed, the machine may get lot of vibration and there is chances of some accident. The person may not be affected. The who is the machine operator, he may not be affected, but due to that, other people, that flying part of the machine can affect it to other people. So that's why he has to take care the other people also. The second, comply with instructions given for their own safety and health and those of others and with safety and health procedures. Every worker has to comply with the instruction given for his safety and health. Whatever the instruction given, suppose employer giving the PPE and he is giving the instruction that once you are doing this work, you have to wear the full PPE. Suppose he is going to work at height and employer providing all the full body harness system, fall arrest system providing, hard hat providing, a safety shoes providing, gloves providing, apron providing. So he has to comply with instruction. Means he has to wear the PPE. All the PPE he has to wear, or any other instruction given by the related to health and safety. If any worker is going to enter into the confined space and employer told you have to wear the SCABA, even then confined space may not be having the risk of H2S gas, hydrogen sulfide gas or carbon monoxide gas. Even then, the employer has told to wear the SCABA. SCABA is a self-contained breathing apparatus. So he has to comply with the employer guidelines, whatever the he is told, whatever the order he has given, because that is related to going to save the health and safety of the worker. Even then, they are told any procedure to be followed before entering into the confined space, like gas testing to be done, after that proper ventilation to be provided, JHA, job hazard analysis to be done, yes, permit to work to be done. So all the procedure also he has to follow. So this is the employee responsibilities to comply with the instruction given for their own safety and those of others and with health and safety procedure. Now the C, we see the every worker has to use the safety devices which have been provided to workers, and he has to use the all protective equipment. Correctly they have to use it. They cannot play with their PPEs. PPEs come with the money. They are not coming free. But the employer is giving free to workers because it is the employer responsibility to provide PPE free of cost. So employees should not think if I don't take care of this item because otherwise I will get one more item. So it is not the case. He has to use the PPE correctly and he should not render. Render means he should not tamper it. Suppose an SCABA is there is some oxygen pipe or valve is there. So you should maintain it a manner like it is own property. If we tamper the valve or the valve and any other hose pipes, it may not create, it may not give the proper oxygen and it may affect the health of the worker. And that SCABA cannot be used by the another worker also. So in that case, the PPE is not going to be used. It is going to be become the waste, and there will be no another PPE may not be available easily. There are so many regions. So every worker has to use the PPE and safety devices in a proper manner. They have to keep safe and clean and hygienic storage. Yes, so they can use it for a multiple times. Yes, and it can be used by another people also. So this is the workers responsibility to use all safety devices and PPEs correctly and do not render them inoperative. Point number D, report forthwith to their immediate supervisor any situation where they have reason to believe could present a hazard and which they cannot themselves correct. Yes, every worker has to report to their immediate supervisor any situation is coming, suppose any gas is leaking from any chamber, so they believe that this gas can be very toxic and hazardous and they cannot stop the flow of that gas, leaking of that gas, so immediately he has to inform to his supervisor. That is his basic responsibilities. If the suppose supervisor not available, so whosoever is available next to that person, immediately the worker has to inform to that supervisor or the management person. Yes, so immediately the action can be taken and the any risk can be averted, any accident can be averted. So this is the basic responsibility of the worker. Now we come to the point number E, report any accident or injury to health which arises in the course of or in connection with work. He has to report, every worker has to report any accident or injury which happened at the workplace. Any LTI is happening, any minor injury is happening, any major injuries are happening at the workplace. So whenever they are doing any work, so they have to report to their concerned authority. This is their basic responsibility. Because why they have to report? So next time the accident, they can do the investigation and they can prevent why the accident are happening. If they don't report, the management never will come to know. Employer never will come to know what happened at the site, what are the hazard and risk available at the site. So if the worker has to report, the worker report that time only it will come into the notice of each and everyone, and the adequate control measures can be taken. So we have discussed about the worker responsibility in the previous slide. That was the as per the C155, and this is as per the ILO guideline R164. Once the question is coming, we have to write combine both of the responsibilities and we have to write a combined answer we have to. Here the 5 points have been given. In previous slide, 2 points have been given. So total 7 points you can write in the workers' responsibilities. Now we discuss about the employees workers right. What are their right? It is provided in ILO guideline article 19 of C155. Yes, it is the same article is there. It is mentioned the workers right. What is the first right to the worker? The worker has to be given adequate information on actions of the employer has taken to ensure safety and health. Whatever the employer is doing for protecting the safety and health of the workers, the employer has to provide all the information to the workers to gain the confidence of the worker, to make free from the mind that company is providing lot of health and safety arrangement doing for him, so he can do work freely. He will not be always thinking about any danger may come, any machine can break, any gases can come, dangerous chemical can spill over. He will not be worried because his employer is taking care of that, and employer is informing if they have taken this measurement they have taken. Yes, worker right is given the right to the necessary training in safety and health. If any new machine is introducing and the worker is not familiar how to operate that machine, so he is having the right, he can go to his training department through or directly to the employer. He can tell him that I don't know how to operate this machine. I don't know what are the hazards and risks available in operating these machines. He is having the full right to receive the training. Yes, whatever the training need is required, he has to receive the training, and after it he can start the work. That is a right, he has got it. And employer also provide the training. Yes, so it is not like this, but even then every worker has to ask. Yes, he cannot say after the accident कि no one provided me the training, I just started the machine on my own and I was thinking about the company work has to finish faster, so I just start doing the work. He is having the full right to ask for a training requirement. Yes, and he should have asked, so the accident could have been averted. After getting a proper training of the any equipment or any other process, the they will be he will be knowing what are the safety procedures he can follow, and there will be no chances of any accident. Suppose a simple welder, a simple person is coming and start doing the welding on any component, and if he not familiar, he may burn himself, he may damage the product. Due to his welding activity, the fire may take place, any explosion can take place because he has not received any training. He does not know what is the oxygen, what is the acetylene, how to open the acetylene, how much oxygen required, where to cut the material, how to hold the torch. So there is a lot of chances of the major accident also may be taking place. So first of all, he should have a right to save himself. That is the basic responsibility, so he can ask for a training. The worker right is there, the worker to be consulted by the employer. Consulted means consultation. Consultation is a two-way communication where the workers advice suggestions, his view also to be considered, to be discussed and considered. The consultation by the employer on all matter of health and safety relating to their work. So why consultation is required? Because the worker is doing the work. Employer wants to make some better health and safety arrangement. So he will discuss whether these arrangements are enough. Suppose a worker is working on the machine and machine is giving a lot of coolant is coming out and falling on the worker's apron. So employer decided that he should put some guard. So coolant sprinklers will not come on the worker's body. So he is going to consult that if I put a guard on this, whether can you load and unload the component carefully? There will be no manual hazard for you, musculoskeletal disorder hazard for you. Can you do with that guard height? So the employer is going to the worker and consulting the matter. Yes, the in another case we can take the example that worker is working in a vaporized atmosphere like in a petrol bunk. The employer is going and he's telling that I want to provide the this type of mask, whether it is enough for you. So worker will decide, okay, he is giving the three options, which type of mask can be better. So he can select if this mask is easy for him to wear and he can control the all the hazards. So by this way, the employer is going to consulting with the worker, and it is the right also because the worker is doing the work. If not consulted with the worker, we are just putting all the control measures, but the worker is working on the machine. He only knows what is the main hazards available. If not consulted with the worker, it may not stop the accident. The fourth, given the right to leave a workplace that he has reason to think present an imminent and serious danger to his life or health. So he will not be compelled to return until workplace is safe. He's stating over here that given the right to leave a workplace, the worker can leave a workplace. In which condition he can leave the workplace? Wherever, whenever he think he has reason to think presents an imminent and serious danger. He think that any danger may come to his life, any serious danger. He may fall into the confined space and may die. It may create to fatality. Yes, to his life or health. So he will not be compelled to return. So he can leave to the workplace and he will not be compelled to return until workplace is safe, until we have eliminated all the hazard and risk from the workplace. If a worker is working in the confined space and he feels that he is doing the welding, and once he start doing the welding, there be chances of the oxygen may level may come down and he may feel the giddiness and he may fall into the confined space tank only. So he can say to his employer that there is some chances of the asphyxiation, there is chances of some collapsing inside the confined space. So he can leave that place until he feel that proper ventilation, proper gas testing has been done, proper rescue arrangement has been done. After that, he will return to the work. Before that, all the arrangement and the hazard not carefully evaluated and has been removed, all the hazard and risk eliminated, all the adequately controlled. That time, if he come and he can find out now the situation is normal and he can resume it, resume his work. So that time only he will come and start doing the work. So these are the very basic worker rights which every worker should demand, and it is already mentioned that employer also providing all these basic right to each and every worker. Sometimes this worker right come through the worker representatives. Sometimes the worker will not ask directly to the employer, he will go through his union or workers representative committee or meeting. Yes, so this we discuss about the workers rights. In the previous two slides we discuss about the employees responsibilities. Sometimes the question is coming like that, what are the obligations of the employees? So we have to write all the seven responsibilities of the workers. So I hope this topic is clear. Thank you.